I made a mistake when signing up for the Vancouver Marathon. I didn't look at the elevation chart closely, and surprise surprise, there's a massive hill on the course. And this could dash my sub 3 hopes. What am I gonna do about it? Well, stay tuned to find out. Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Eric. I'm a hobbyist runner from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I have aspirations of running in the Boston Marathon. But let's bring it back to Vancouver for now, which training for is going relatively well. It's week 5 and 6, but more on that in a minute. First off, the million-dollar question. How did I screw up the elevation? Well, if you go to the website, you'll notice that this elevation chart, yeah, that's not interactive, that's a straight PDF. Just me eyeballing it, I thought this hill was 1K with maybe 4% grade? Nah. Thanks to last year's runners posting on Strava, I have quite a bit of reliable data to work with. Full credit here to Sergio Reyes Villanueva, whose data I'll be pulling from. Hey guys, Editing Eric here, so a bit embarrassing, but I didn't do my research before filming this and I pronounced Sergio's name wrong. Here's how he says it.
Hello, my name is Sergio Reyes Villanueva, and I'll be representing Canada for the 10,000 meter event in Nakak in Toronto.
This normally would be embarrassing enough, but there is another layer. He placed first at the Mississauga Half the same year I ran it, so yeah, my bad dude. But anyways, this right here is Hill 81, 81 referring to the elevation in meters from sea level. Hill 81 starts around the 9K mark, goes on for about 3.2K or 2 miles, and the grade averages out to about 6.5%. The overall objective here will not be to take this hill at race pace, that's going to be really hard, and I could throw the entire race right here. Damage control is going to be the name of the game. If I can limit it to about 20 seconds per kilometer slower, then I'll be in really good shape. Tacking on an additional 60 to 90 seconds is going to eat into my margin for error, but overall, it's not the end of the world. If we go back to Sergio's data for a second here, we can see that he's taking this about 16 seconds per kilometer slower than his average race pace, and he's a much better runner than I am, so I have to be realistic about what I can achieve. That is all data and hypotheticals though. Are my legs up to the task? Honestly, not really. I noticed when I was doing hill intervals for Mississauga and even on the flats of the Toronto Waterfront Marathon, my right calf was giving me a lot of grief. So that means I need more strength training. Yay! It's gonna take some time to figure out a routine that works for me and my needs, but for now, it's gonna be a lot more calf raises and being diligent about them. I was looking back at this old clip right here, and I noticed myself kind of like rocking forward and not holding the raise and the lower for about 2 to 3 seconds, so getting a little bit better at that is gonna go a long way. And speaking of training, weeks 5 and 6 have gone pretty well. With overall mileages of 96 and 97K respectively, you might start to think things are stagnating because week 4 also had 96K, but that's not really the case because what those kilometers are allotted to does matter. The intensity and demands of the workouts definitely have gone up. These are the easy runs on the cards for the past couple of weeks. Nothing really remarkable here, although they are starting to push up against my 90-minute easy run limit, but no cause for real concern just yet. I'm also happy to report that things are starting to thaw out a bit, so I've been able to go outside a lot more, which I did over here in week 6, a 32.5 kilometer long easy. There was a bit of rain and snow in the middle, as well as large puddles on the ground, so I got absolutely soaked, but if it means I don't have to run on the treadmill, then I'll take it. Rain isn't exactly off the cards for Vancouver, so learning to run while wet is going to be an asset. For week 5, there were 2 workouts. The first was 8 by 1K at 10K race pace. Admittedly, I wasn't in a very good headspace before doing this one. Today is one of those days I just did not feel like getting out of bed. It's just due to some stuff in my personal life. It's nothing serious, like no one's dying, no one's dead, no one's injured, no one's sick, everyone's great. It's just, yeah, I'm not really gonna touch on it too much, but needless to say, I'm just not mentally feeling great. Couple that with an snap moment today at work, which got resolved by the way, client is super happy, but it also means I had to eat lunch at 3:30 and only now at about 7:15 has the food digested, which means we're gonna be running pretty late today, or tonight rather. But I am happy that today's a speed day because when I've had a really bad day, well, I tend to run my best sessions. This session went really smooth, all 8 of the Ks felt controlled and I was putting in just the right effort, and it was a great mental reset that I really needed. The second workout was a medium long run featuring a 13K progression segment. The first 7K started a smidge slower than goal marathon pace, and the last 6K was at or about half marathon pace. On paper, this one seemed really tough, and I won't lie, I was a little bit intimidated, but going by the heart rate data, this one was a resounding success. Previously, for a progression like this, my heart rate would start in the 160s and end in the 180s, but here it was in the 150s and end in the 170s respectively, so that's a pretty big improvement. Now this could be an outlier, it was also on a treadmill, but as Dr. Jack Daniels says, externalize your losses and internalize your successes.
And when you're to be an optimist means if you do something well, you take credit for it. You internalize good things. If you run a good race, you're the one who did it.
So yeah, all me. For week 6, there was only one speed workout, but it was about this time I looked at the elevation map in detail and realized I need to make some adjustments. The plan I'm using just doesn't have any hill work written in, so I'm just gonna have to do it live. So for today's run, which is 2x5K at about half marathon race pace, what I'll be doing is turning the second kilometer of both 5K segments into an uphill section, and the grade is going to be at 6.5%, the average grade of Hill 81. Okay, obviously, Hill 81 is not 1K only, it's about 3. But this is going to be a very gentle introduction to this kind of hill work, because when I was doing it for the Mississauga Half, I don't think I did more than 1 mile at a time, which is 1,600 meters. But that's okay because I'm not looking to run those hills at the exact same pace as my race pace throughout the entire race. I'm just looking for a tiny bit of damage control. I won't lie, I kind of underestimated how hard this would be, and it was really, really tough. I ran that first hill about 10 seconds per kilometer slower than half marathon pace, and even that was too hard, so I had to dial it back for the next rep.
Okay, that was stupid hard. I'm not gonna do 5 minutes jogging rest. I'm gonna do 5 minutes standing, but oh my god.
I'll be the first to admit, I'm just really not good at hills. Hey, Editing Eric here again. I know, twice in the same video, crazy, right? Anyways, I forgot to mention, this session was also very hard because the snow was back. I shuffled for 2 hours that day. The first hill was run about 10 seconds per kilometer slower than half marathon pace, and that was really tough. You can see in the heart rate data right here, it's in the 180s and even spikes at 192. Basically a 5K effort. And running the remaining 3K, that also felt really tough, and I was definitely fighting to stay upright. And because of that, for the second hill, I brought it back to about goal marathon pace, but even that still felt really difficult, felt like a 5K race effort. So all in all, I think I have to pull it back to about 426 to 430 per kilometer, which is kind of that sweet spot. I can just go faster later on if I'm up for it. In terms of how the block is going overall, 2x5K is the session I injured myself in last time, so to pass that kind of hurdle feels really good, but it's also a testament to the progress I've made in these past 6 months. It's week 8 as I record this right now, and I can happily say that I'm still not injured. That said, running those couple of kilometers at the same grade as Hill 81 was a reality check. It was really humbling seeing my 5K heart rate come out during what was supposed to be a just above threshold effort. And it's not going to get any easier because weeks 9 through 14, those have some of the most demanding workouts I've ever seen. I really need to lock in terms of recovery, in terms of strength training, and just mentally checking in with myself to make sure I'm not overextending. Alright, and that's how weeks 5 and 6 went. If you want to see how I do with the rest of my training and race day, hit subscribe. If you found this video entertaining or helpful, hit like. Best way to support the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.